Alright, I'm going to tell you guys a story about how my dad overdid a punishment to me when I was a kid. Now a little backlog about my dad. My dad was known for 2 quotes. The one he was known for the most was, good enough. Dude said it all the time when he was older. It's hilarious. But the other one, which I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight, was a little bit more aggressive. But man, my dad could say the shit out of it. That was simply put, son of a bitch! I want to get you guys to know, that saying was never used any better than what my family calls the epic clothesline of the 1990s. All right, now my family owned a mountain house. And one day I go outside the mountain house, I go to the side of the house, pick up a rock, I took that rock, and I threw it on the roof, and I caught it when it came down. Because if your family owned a mountain house, and you were 11 years old, you figure out shit too. So it's really nice. Now my dad heard this, came outside, looked right at me, and goes, would you stop doing that? We're going to hit somebody. Now my dad was a big guy. And when he spoke, you listened. But I was 11 years old, so I kept going. I was like, Dad, don't worry about it. I know exactly what I'm doing. Which, can we all agree, that is every kid's famous last word? Seriously? You know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, sure you do, buddy. All right, so my dad eventually goes to the shed. The shed is parallel to the house. Back a little bit further, but it's parallel to the house. Now, I'm still throwing. And when I used to throw, I used to wait for it to hit the roof. That's how I knew I threw it right. And when it appeared, I would catch it. Well, apparently, I was killing it. And Randy Johnson, one of these suckers, a little too hard. And I didn't hear it hit. Now, you know that moment in a nightmare where you get really scared and your butthole puckers up a little bit and you freeze before you run? Well, apparently the next thing I heard was, son of a bitch! Nicholas! And then I ran. Now, we had a horseshoe-shaped driveway with a bunch of trees and shrubbery and there's a boulder in the middle. And I got to that driveway before my dad came out from the other side. And I just started going in a circle. Like if National Geographic was filming this, my dad was a lion, I was a gazelle, and they're like, oh my God, they only help the gazelle house. It's if you tire out of it. And thank God I did. Because I want you guys to know, my dad was extremely tired, but I could feel the anger coming from him from across the driveway. Now I was 11 years old. My dad is 56 at the time. And this man spoke to me like he was Tony Soprano, and I was the next guy he was gonna hit. He was like, when you least expect it, I'm gonna get you, little son of a bitch. Now, at this point, I was technically homeless, but I was in luck, because my uncle and his family was coming up to visit. And when they came up on the right side of the driveway. Now my whole family's out there, my dad, my mom, my brothers, my sister. I was clearly out there because I wasn't going near that fucking house. And when my uncle came out of the driveway, I went beeline right straight for him. Now I know I was gonna have to pass my dad. But I'm thinking, there's no way he's gonna hit me, right? That would make for an awkward dinner table. Like, Uncle Tom, how was the ride up? It was fine until child abuse. That was weird. That shouldn't have happened. So I made a beeline right straight for him. And my uncle has his arms wide open. I'm running full speed. I'm smiling ear to ear. I'm just like, oh my God, you have no idea you are saving my fucking life. As I get closer, all of a sudden, I see this eclipse happening. And I was like, that's weird. NASA didn't say anything about this. Boom! I hit the ground so hard. Now we had gravel for a driveway. And I hit the ground so hard that eventually, when I got up, you could actually see the outline of my body. That's how hard my dad hit me. Now at this point, it was quiet. Awkwardly quiet. Because you have to understand, no one knew that my dad was doing this. Only he did. And it's funny, because my dad was standing right over me, and he was totally not addressing the family behind him that's like standing in shock right now about what he just did. Now, and I saw my dad. Now, I figured the first thing he was going to say, something along the lines of like, I'm sorry, are you okay? Maybe even the classical parent one of, this hurt me more than it hurt you. No, he just had this like vindicated look. And he just told me, he's like, well, that was a little aggressive. Because you know what? I told you I'd get you, little son of a bitch. Thank you guys, my name is Nick.